Welcome in, everybody. What's going on? Hope everybody's doing well on this good Friday afternoon. If you're on the East Coast, West Coast, North Pole, South Pole, wherever you may be, please join us today for our Hardcore Sports Network Borough Breakdown podcast episode lucky number 13. That's right. Same day as our birthday, November 13th. This is our 13th episode of the Borough Breakdown podcast with myself, Evan, of course, and Jason as well. Appreciate everybody joining. Big shout out to Nathan already in the stream. Thank you very, very much, of course, for sharing our show as well today and just having our backs and everything that we do pretty much. So thank you very much for that. Everybody, please hit that like button. Subscribe to the Hardcore Sports Network. Trying to grow this show as best we can here, trying to increase our viewership as well. I know it could be a little difficult sometimes, but we're trying to do our best. And the fact that we're already on our 13th episode is pretty significant in itself. And very proud to be on this show with Jason, of course. And excited to be talking about the Nets today, Yankees, Mets. We'll go for about 45 minutes with you guys today, this afternoon. So please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel as always. And Jason, how you doing?
Doing well. Happy Friday, everyone. Hope everyone had a good week this week. I know it seems a little bit long, but at least you made it to Friday now and ready to talk some ball. And yeah, let's have a good show.
Well, we have Scripps in the building. What's going on, Scripps? How you doing?
Thank you for joining us.
Joining us, Scripps. As always, people, everybody go follow Scripps. Does a good job on the Hardcore Sports Network, putting out shorts, live streams as well. Get all of your wrestling information from Scripps. He is the wrestling master of wrestling master of information. Sorry, I'm used to always saying master of misinformation for one reason, but Scripps is our master of information here for wrestling news. So please go follow Scripps for that. We would appreciate that as always. But Jason, we are almost at the training camp point of the Nets season, almost at training camp, about 3 weeks away from training camp opening up for the Brooklyn Nets, of course. And very excited to see sort of who takes that next step into next season. As always, we're going to have shows where we talk about training camp, what goes on in training camp as well, recap sort of the practices, scrimmages as well. But also we're going to have information on preseason shows too. When the Nets have preseason games, we're going to discuss those as well. But today we're actually going to talk about the schedule. So we're going to talk about the Brooklyn Nets schedule for the October month. So for the month of October, we're going to dive a little bit into the schedule for that. As right there, our guy Austin, who's producing the show today, shout out to Austin. He has pulled up this picture for us. Of course, this is coming from my own Twitter page, and pretty much this is a copy of the Nets schedule for October. So today we're going to dive into what the October games look like for the Nets, sort of give our breakdowns and analysis on the teams that they're facing, how well they might do this year, and also how the Nets might stack up against them, And then at the end, we're going to give our record predictions for the Nets schedule in October for today's show. And just so you guys know, for future shows too, we're going to be breaking down the Nets schedule for other months as well. So like for November, December, January, February, March, and April, we're going to be discussing those months as well. But today we're just going to be focusing on October because we also have the Yankees and Mets to get to as well very, very soon. But appreciate you guys joining us. Please, once again, hit that like button just as a friendly reminder. As always, we thank you very much for that. So, of course, as you guys can see, the Brooklyn Nets season begins in late October. Of course, these are their preseason games until October 21st when the Nets open up against the Charlotte Hornets at home in Brooklyn. So, of course, we already discussed the preseason schedule a little bit. If you guys missed that episode, you can go back and check that out. We also discussed the Nets with Joe Smith as well. We had Joe Smith as a guest on last week. Thanks to Nathan and his team for that as well. So please, guys, if you missed a couple of those episodes, please go back and watch those. Those were very informative episodes. We talked about the Nets, talked about Joe Smith's career with himself as well, and it was very, very fun to discuss all those things. But here's just a little preview of the Nets schedule right here. So, of course, preseason-wise, we already discussed it, so we're just going to go through it pretty quickly. They pretty much open up with the Hornets on the road in the preseason. Then they're back home to face the 76ers, their first home preseason game against the Sixers. Then they're at the Wizards, and then they are at the Heat to close out the preseason schedule. And then we get to the good stuff, Jason. We get to the good stuff. We get to the fun stuff. We are opening up at home against the Charlotte Hornets this season on October 21st. Jason, what are your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, well, first off, I would just like to say, it's finally good to have a home game as our first game. Usually we're on the road, but no, it's finally good to have a home game as the first game, of course. And against the Hornets, it's not going to be easy. They have a tough team, and you could say they got better or worse this offseason. Either way, obviously with them trading LaMelo Ball to the Timberwolves, and Miles Bridges to the Suns, you could say they degraded a little bit, but they also improved by getting Naz Reid. They got more bench pieces like Grayson Allen. They got more bench guys now. So they got Kobe White as well. They re-signed him. So the Hornets, they're obviously tough. They still have Conkenable, Renan Miller, and Ryan Kalkbrenner. So obviously they're never easy of a team to beat. Obviously they're tough. They showed that last year with their great first-year head coach,
Charles Lee.
Charles Lee, that's right. Yep, blanked out on that, but yes, Charles Lee. Thanks for that. But the Hornets are always a tough team, so it's not going to be. Obviously, no game is easy. So the Hornets are definitely not easy whatsoever. They're going to be a hard team to beat, especially with they want to come out on opening night and also get their first win of the season too, especially on the road. I'm sure they'll have their fans travel to Barclays, and it should be a good matchup. Hopefully, the Nets can take advantage of some of their weaknesses that they do have, like interior defense, perimeter defense. But we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully, the Nets can just sustain some scoring and play some defense, and hopefully win that game.
Well, if we win, it's going to be all earned. Definitely. It's definitely going to be all earned if the Nets do win this game, being the fact that, the Hornets had a good season last year. They had a great year, made it to the play-in. They beat the Heat in that crazy play-in game in April. That was a crazy game, and then they unfortunately lost to the Magic. Unfortunately, fell to the Magic, being the 8th seed there. But the Hornets, I think they're going to take another step up this year, like you said, Jason. More depth, of course. Grayson Allen, Naz Reid, and now trading away LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges. I don't know how I feel about that from their perspective. Of course, maybe they were players that were on expiring deals and they wanted to get the most value out of them from, which I understand. And of course, with the Timberwolves situation, with them dealing away Randall for nothing, pretty much as a salary dump with that. And then of course the stuff that came out about just Edwards being a little bit unhappy with their operation. They felt like they needed to get another superstar. So I felt like the Hornets were very intuitive on giving them LaMelo Ball for not very cheap, right? It took them some assets to give away to get LaMelo Ball there, which was why I feel like the Hornets made a good trade with that. in that trade right there with the Timberwolves too, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Like Miles Bridges, he was a great part of their team, but they're heading sort of in like a younger direction with Con Knibble and Brandon Miller, and they just have some superstar level talent on that team. They just have to grow into the season, do a lot better. They also have Ryan Kalkbrenner too, who's a very good center. He's a very, very good player, and definitely looking forward to seeing how the Hornets are going to do. I'm very intrigued by what they might do this season, but this is going to be a tough matchup for the Nets. I feel like it's going to be obviously the home opener is not the obviously it's what the Nets want to be. They want to obviously have a home opener too, because being on the road it just adds a lot of pressure. Being on the road, especially for a young team like the Nets, I think it's better for them to open up at home. The Nets have not won an opening night game since 2020, so it's been 6 years since they've won an opening night game. Their last home opener was in 2023 when they opened up against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and the Cavs, they put up a good fight against the Cavs, but they came up a little bit short in that game in October of 2023. But I think the Hornets are a good matchup for the Nets. The Nets obviously have more size now with Mo Wagner, obviously Day'Ron Sharpe too, and Yegor Demin, Traore, all those guys should take steps up this year. We hope so. And obviously Michael Brown, I don't think he's going to be an impact right away. Obviously he's going to play. He's going to get a lot of minutes, but he might not be the truthful, impactful player that Nets fans might seem to want to hope for right away. But I do believe he'll be a good player for the Nets, pairing with Demin as well. But this is going to be a tough game. You already have players on the Hornets that have multi-years of experience. And they're a well-balanced team, of course, and I think they're going to take that step up into this year. So this is going to be a tough game for the Nets. If I had to predict this game on a analysis basis, prediction basis, I would say it's going to be a close game. But I do say that the Hornets do defeat the Nets in this game, probably by 10 to 15 points. It's not going to be a huge margin of defeat, but I think the Nets are going to stay in the game for a long time. It's going to be close at halftime, but I think the Hornets will eventually pull away in the fourth quarter and win that game. Jason, do you have any predictions on that game?
Yeah, I think that they will lose that game. Like you said, it will be close. It will be a close game throughout. Maybe they might be winning at halftime, but we know how that usually goes when they lead at halftime. It doesn't really sustain well.
Mm-hmm.
But it will definitely be a close game. I could see them being tied maybe in the fourth quarter, maybe only down by 3 or 4 points, but it will be close. But the Hornets, I think, will eventually win this game, unfortunately.
Yeah, and Charles Lee, like he already proved to be a great coach last year. He helped develop Con Knibble to the next level last year. He was great. He was definitely in contention for the Rookie of the Year, which went to Cooper Flagg, but Con Knibble, he was right there to be the Rookie of the Year as well. He was great last year. Brandon Miller, he took a step up. Kalkbrenner was already a very good addition to that team. Only being a rookie, he was a very good addition to that team too. And like you said, like they have more shooting now and a little bit more depth to play with too, with Naz Reid as well. So it's going to be tough for the Nets to pretty much match up against the Hornets, but it's going to be close. Like they always seem to make games that are supposed to be a large margin of defeat into closer margins, and they always put up a good fight. And I think this could be a tough test for Jordi Fernandez right out of the gate. This is Fernandez's third year, so he needs to have pretty much more of an understanding of how to game plan and how to manage when the Nets face tougher opponents like the Hornets. And we're not going to really make a lot of excuses for Fernandez this year, being the fact that it is a year for the Nets to hopefully take that next step, like we've seen young teams do in the past as well. Like the Hornets, like they were very bad a couple years ago, and now they've taken that step up. The San Antonio Spurs were a terrible team just about 3 years ago, but then once they got Wembanyama, they took that step up, and the Hornets are trying to go on that trajectory as well. The Nets, it's going to take them a little bit longer to get to where the Spurs are, to get to where the Hornets even are now. But I think the Nets will have a better season, and they have a higher ceiling with Michael Porter Jr. and Mo Wagner and Julius Randle as well. So it's going to be a tough game. Ultimately, I don't think the Nets will win, but it's going to be tough, and I think we'll come out of that game knowing that the Nets did all they could, and hopefully, based off that performance, they'll have a tough a good season, and obviously they'll be tough against some of the better competitors around the league.
Yeah,
So
and
oh yeah, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, one more thing about the Hornets too is they have former net now on their team, Royce O'Neal, Rolls Royce.
That's
So
right. That's right. They
yeah,
do.
they
Yes.
got him in the Miles Bridges trade. Yep.
Yep. They did. Yep. Royce O'Neal. He's probably going to have 20 points in that game.
He'll probably go off and make like 5 or 6 threes.
Yeah, because last year when he was on the Suns, when the Suns came to Barclays Center, he made, I think it was 2 or 3 threes, I believe.
Yeah, well, does that really surprise anyone?
No, it shouldn't even surprise the data coordinator.
Or Jay Dunn or Greg Zach, but
Yep.
Or Antonio if he's even real.
Oh no, he's the AI chatbot. He was probably programmed from Gemini or Copilot.
Yeah, kind of like Howie Mandel and Simon Cowell. Yeah.
Yeah, and Petrox.
Petrox.
All right, let's move on to the next game here. So we have the Cleveland Cavaliers on the road against the Cleveland Cavaliers on October 24th. October 24th. So the Nets have 2 days off to prepare for the Cavaliers. And in the NBA too, it's always tough because I think the Nets this year, they have the second most back-to-backs this season. It's going to be a tough test for them, but being the fact that they're sort of a younger team, I think that they'll adapt well to that. And look, the Cavaliers, obviously, we know their situation. They made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, losing to the Knicks in 4 games, rightfully so. The Knicks were just the better team in that series. Obviously, they swept them, and the Cavaliers ran out of the building for most of those games too. But look, the Cavaliers, obviously, we know what they're all about. They have Donovan Mitchell, they have James Harden on a new 3-year contract. They have Jared Allen still. They have Evan Mobley. They added Peyton Watson about a week ago to their team as well from the Denver Nuggets, and I think they're going to be a very good team. I think they're going to be a team that's competing right there with the Knicks and the Pistons and the Celtics and the 76ers and all those teams that are top tier class of the league. I think the Cavaliers are going to be right there. Now, look, I don't think James Harden is going to bring them a championship. They'll have to either find a way to trade him to get assets for him or just find a way to sort of utilize his role on the team. But look, we know his situation. We know he doesn't always step up in the playoffs. We know he's going to have a great regular season, which he always does. But in the playoffs is where he's going to struggle. But here, just specifically here, focusing on the Cavaliers against the Nets on the road, historically, the Nets always struggle in Cleveland. Games, pretty much we've seen across the years that the past few seasons that in Cleveland, the Nets, when they were going on a run, when they were having a good time, taking a good lead, when they were up by 15 to 20 points, usually in Cleveland, that lead usually goes away pretty quickly. And there have been multiple games the last couple of years in Cleveland that it may seem like the Nets already have won those games. They were up by 15 points, 20 points in the third quarter, but the lead usually vanishes quickly. And look, this is not going to be an easy game for the Nets, being the fact that it's early in the season, their first road game of the season. Of course, I don't know if it's the Cavaliers' first home game. I'm not sure, but either way, it's going to be a tough game for the Nets to navigate here. And just overall briefing this Nets schedule too. In the beginning of the year, the Nets have some tough games, definitely some tough games, tough opponents, but hopefully they can stay competitive within this first month of October to hopefully accelerate themselves into November as well. And it's not going to get any easier. We know the league has pretty much sustained a competitive effort with a lot of the teams that they're putting out there. The East got better this year, and pretty much everyone's hopefully taking that next step up too, with the Washington Wizards having a better ceiling too, and just the Pacers having Halliburton back as well. And it's going to be a tough road for a lot of teams to navigate. But look, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we're sitting here at the end of October looking at the Nets as like a 1 or 2 win record, only having 1 or 2 wins. But you never know. Basketball is a hard game to predict. Sometimes things go your way. Sometimes shots go in. Sometimes things go your way in those games. But look, this is going to be a tough game against Cleveland. I'm not going to say the Nets are going to win this game. I'll say Cleveland wins this game by about probably 15 to 20 points, I would say, in this game here against Cleveland. Jason, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, first I want to get to Nathan's comments. Also, always shout out to Nathan, our guy on the NY Yankee Mania and World Sports Mania Entertainment.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Nathan says, I like the Watson move for Cleveland. Yep. Yeah, Nathan, we wanted Peyton Watson on the Nets. Like he he knew that we wanted Peyton Watson for the Nets, and he would have been a good fit for us too. But that's a good move for the Cavs. Nathan also says the Raptors will be better. Yep. And he says, I think the Nets will compete for the play-in tournament, in my opinion, if everything goes well. Yeah, if they stay healthy, and I think if Jordi Fernandez really rises to expectations, I think we could see them in the play-in. Not betting on that right now, but if everything goes right, let's just say, then we could see them in the play-in. But as far as the Cavs go, it's going to be obviously it's on the road. It's the first road game of the season. It's not going to be easy, and I mean no game is easy, but the Cavs they're much more better. They're a better team at home than they are on the road. The Cavs, James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, those guys always seem to show up against the Nets, and they always make it tough for us. We need everyone to step up in that game if we're going to win. We need to basically shoot the lights out. We need to, make adjustments on the fly. Fernandez has to make his adjustments on the fly, and we need pretty much everything to go our way in order for us to win that game. But I think that's another loss, unfortunately, for us.
Yep, definitely. So now let's go to the next game on the schedule. I hope everybody who's watching can see the schedule a little bit better. I did zoom in a little bit. It doesn't take a D3 pitching coach to figure that out, but here we are. So now we see the Nets are facing off again. Here's their first back-to-back of the 2026-2027 season. They are home against the Indiana Pacers on October 25th at 6 p.m., of course. So 6 p.m. game against the Pacers. Now you pretty much assume Halliburton is going to be back in the beginning of the year, being the fact that he missed all of last season. So he's going to be fresh, ready, healthy to go, fresh and healthy and ready to go for the season. And it is a back-to-back for the Nets. I'm not sure if it's a back-to-back for Indiana, but I do assume that he won't be playing right away in back-to-backs for them, just being the fact that he's on an injury timeline. So I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be playing that game, but assuming that he is, assuming that everybody is healthy for Indiana, assuming that Halliburton is playing, assuming that Siakam is playing, assuming that they have pretty much a healthy rotation with Benedict Mathurin and TJ McConnell and everybody else on that team, is going to be another tough game. Historically, the Nets do play pretty well against the Pacers at home. I will say that. But it's going to be a tough one. If I'm looking at a really pessimistic angle, I can see the Nets winning this game. It's just gonna be difficult, of course, but I can see them realistically winning this game. Being the fact that they do play the Celtics and the Pistons, I'm gonna say the Nets do get the win here. I'm gonna be positive. I'm gonna say the Nets do get this win here against the Pacers on October 25th. Hopefully they can learn from their first couple of performances from the Hornets and the Cavs. And that's going to be another test, too, for these young players, too. Not only Michael Brown, but for the second-year players, too, is how are they going to adapt and learn from their previous games? If they make mistakes, how are they going to bounce back the next game? How are they going to recover? And pretty much what are their intangibles going to be like going forward from one game to the next? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there and how they bounce back, how they make adjustments throughout the season. But here I'm going to say the Nets get their first win of the year against the Indiana Pacers. And also, fun fact for everyone who doesn't know in the stream as well, last year the Nets got their first win against the Indiana Pacers. It took them about 8 games, but they finally did get their first win against the Indiana Pacers last season in Indiana. So I'm going to say the Nets get their first win this year at Barclays Center against the Pacers.
Yeah, Evan, those are great points. Obviously, we did get our first win of the season last year against the Pacers. I hope that we do again. We do it again this year against them. Hopefully it's a nice game. I mean, first back-to-back of the season of like 11 back-to-backs, most of the NBA. Which screw the NBA for giving us the most back-to-backs. Don't know why they did that, but yeah, I think we actually all know why. They want to give the advantage to the other team in New York. Don't want to say their name, but I think we all know who they are. But yeah, no, the Pacers again. They're going to be very tough. Siakam, Halliburton coming back, TJ McConnell as well. They added Kelly Oubre in the offseason. They signed him. They got guys that can shoot the ball. They got guys that can make plays, play defense. The Pacers they're one of those teams that are gritty. They never give up on you. They're always going to sneak behind you and do something. So I hope we win this game, like you said. I mean, you have us winning this game. It's hard to predict right now. I will say that we do win just because we're at home and we're 0-2, so we're urged to get a win, but hopefully it actually comes true and we get our first win on this game.
Yeah, I hope so. And do you remember the name of their center besides Siakam? What's his name? Potter?
Oh yeah, they have Michael Potter and they also have Jay Huff too.
Jay Huff. Yeah. Okay.
Yep, Huff and Puff. He huffs and puffs, but doesn't fall down.
Oh man. Yep. So home against Indiana. Hopefully the Nets get the win. If they do get the win, they'll move to 1-2 on the year. And now they go into the dreaded pressure test. Master Chef reference there, but the pressure test here, they do face off against the Boston Celtics on the road in Beantown in Boston, of course, in Celtic land. The Nets, surprisingly, they've actually yes, thank you, Nathan, as well. They have
yes,
Zubac too.
Zubac,
yes,
thank you, Nathan.
Yep, thank you for the reminder there, Nathan. Appreciate that.
Not about Zubac. Yep.
Yeah. But no, the Celtics, another tough team going into the season. You pretty much would imagine that Tatum is fully healthy, of course. Now with Paul George on the Celtics too, it's going to be interesting to see how they play out. If you're looking at the optimistic side, you can say, well, it might take some time for pretty much for Tatum and for Paul George to be on the same page. How far in advance are they going to be reading the same playbook and looking at the same page? And also, how much time are they going to be spending on the court together, being the fact that they're both point guards? Are the Celtics going to run sort of like a bigger man lineup with their two centers? Are they going to pretty much have a ball dominant lineup, a shooting guard lineup, a defensive minded lineup? What's their lineup going to be like? Because the Celtics can go into different directions with their lineup and their versatility as well. So it's going to be an interesting matchup here against the Celtics on the road. The Nets actually did beat the Celtics on the road last season in an NBA Cup game. But obviously this is not a NBA Cup game just yet. But it should be fascinating to see pretty much what happens in this game against the Celtics. Early on in the season against the Celtics, I don't think this is going to be a win here. Unfortunately, could it be a win? I think it can be a win. Josh Minot revenge game too, if he does play in that game. But it's going to be a tough one in Boston early in the season. Maybe they try to get their chemistry together with Tatum and George. But I think that their experience is going to play out here against a young Nets team. And I'll say that the Celtics win this game. I think the score is going to be pretty close. It's going to be a good game throughout the game, but I think the Celtics might pull away later on in the game. I'll say the Celtics win by a score of, I don't know, it's hard to predict basketball scores, but I'll say maybe like 110 to 100, 110 to 100, 110 to 95, somewhere in that realm. But I think that it'll be a tough game for the Nets. And Jason, what do you think?
Yeah, no, again, good points about the Celtics. Yeah, I mean, I agree with all the things you said about them. You know, they traded away Jaylen Brown to the Sixers. Everyone is pretty much doubting the Celtics. I mean, not really doubting, but I would say just not giving them the respect that they do deserve, just because they will be a good team again, because they do have good players like Paul George. They still got Jason Tatum, obviously Derek White, Sam Hauser, Peyton Pritchard. They got some good guys off the bench. They got Mitchell Robinson now. I like the offseason additions that they added to their team, but it's still going to be tough. Playing on the road at TD Garden, it's never easy there. The fans will be loud. The Celtics are going to want to start hot like everyone else. So again, this game is not really looking towards a win for us on our favor, but you never know what could happen. We did beat them last year, like you said. We beat them in Boston last year, which was a good win. I just don't know how much confidence I have with them going to Boston and playing there on a Friday night, or if it's a Friday night, I don't know. But It was a Friday night last year. But yeah, it's not going to be ideal. If we're going to have to play pretty much perfect ball to win that. So I do say we lose that game. But I will say this: I think it will be a close game down the stretch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting, and you just figure with Boston being a pretty hot topic with sports right now, of course, with the Red Sox, with what they're doing, with what the Patriots season is going to be. all about into next year. They're a pretty fascinating team, of course, and it's going to be interesting. Maybe the Red Sox at this point of the year, late October, at this point, it's probably the World Series time. And I mean, I don't think they're going to be in the World Series, but just imagine if they are, this town is going to be rocking with some energy. But I certainly hope that they don't be in the World Series, of course, being a Yankees fan, but we'll see about that. And of course, you got the Patriots season going on. Late October is when, of course, their season is probably around like week 5 or week 4, week 5, around that point in that time. But on a Friday night, yeah, it's going to be a tough one for the Nets, of course. And also another point to bring up with that too is how is Jordy Fernandez going to game plan against Joe Mazzulla's 2-center lineup with Mitchell Robinson and Keita, whatever his first name is, Keita.
Yeah.
Mitchell Robinson, of course, great rebounder, great offensive rebounder, great defensive rebounder too. He can do all things around the court. Maybe they go into Hakimich. Maybe they do that, but I wouldn't do that unless if it's a very close game. But obviously that would be Jordy Fernandez's situation to handle if it does come to that point. But it's going to be fascinating to see how Jordy Fernandez game plans against Joe Mazzulla, to see how he matches up against that team, and just pretty much see what his strategy is going to be against Joe Mazzulla. Jason, do you have any sort of comments about? Thank you, Nathan. Nemias Keita. Yes, thank you, Nathan, for that.
Nemias Keita. Yep.
But Jason, do you have any thoughts about what Jordy Fernandez might do in this game to game plan against Joe Mazzulla?
Yeah, we could see a Mo Wagner, Daron Sharp type of 2-center lineup, just like Joe Mazzulla, what he's going to do. Oh, yes, Nathan, also Chris Sinak. Yep, the Celtics have him as well. Yeah.
And Hugo Gonzalez.
Yep. Don't forget about him either. But, pretty much I think Jordy Fernandez would have to balance with the 2-center lineup. You're going to have to – obviously, we're going to have some wings on the floor like Keon Ellis and Igor and possibly Danny Wolf as well. But it's going to be – yes, yes, for Danny Wolf. Hopefully he can step up this year, but it's going to be crucial for Fernandez to match what Joe Mazzulla is doing, or else we're going to have no chance in this game.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Usually the Nets are competitive against Boston, but there's going to be definitely a tough game. And Nathan, Mitchell Robinson being a Celtic now, that's pretty wild to think about. And it's kind of like when I'm forgetting the name, but the person on the net, someone was on the Nets and they went to the, I forgot who it was, but they went to a rival team. I forgot who it was, but it was pretty wild to see, of course, seeing players that your team has, and then them going to the opposite team, going to the rival team. That's pretty crazy to think about. And then to actually see it live is just crazy, but things happen and players move on to different situations that obviously give them the best benefits too. But this year is going to be important for Jordy Fernandez to strategically match up against other teams, even though they might have more talent. It's going to be important to see how he strategically and pretty much offers a game plan against other teams that have more level of competition and teams that have more talent on their teams too, because the Nets right now, they do have a little bit of talent on their team, but they don't have the talent that's matched up to other young superstars around the league or other veteran superstars around the league too. But they're just hoping that the Nets can reach that next floor to be a more competitive team too. So at this point, the Nets, according to myself and Jason, they will be 1-3 on the season. And then let's move into the final game of the October schedule. We are at home, facing off against the number 1 seed from last year, Detroit Pistons. Jason, any thoughts on that game first?
Yeah, again, the Pistons, number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference last year. Cade Cunningham, great player. Duncan Robinson, excellent role player they have. Jalen Duren. Oh wait, is he still on the team, or he is, right?
Yeah, as of right now, yeah.
Yes, yeah, that's right. Jalen Duren is still on the team. Yep. And they have Jenkins, the guy from St. John's, who's really good. The Pistons, they're going to be coming into this year trying to win it all again. Last year they just fell short, losing in that Game 7 to the Cavs. Shout out to that Pistons fan that we met at Dad's girlfriend's wedding party that one time.
Yeah, it was our dad's girlfriend's daughter's wedding. Yeah.
Yep.
He was a season ticket Detroit Pistons fan. Yep.
Yep. He seemed like he was very optimistic about the team. But he definitely wasn't mad when they lost that game 7, though, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's the Pistons again. At least we're playing them at home. That's a good thing. I think that we actually pulled this off. I think the Nets will find a way to win this game because it's a Friday night at Barclays Center. You know, Barclays will be rocking, and they'll try to urge on the Nets to get the win. You know, I think Michael Brown really steps up in this game. I think Yegor, they both have a great game. I think that Keon Ellis will have his first big game as a Net this game. You know, I feel like everyone will click at the right time against the Pistons because they want to show that they can beat one of the best teams in the league. So I do think that we get this win on a Friday night at Barclays Center.
Wow, that's optimistic right there. The only time that we beat Detroit last year was in Detroit in March. That was a bit crazy, but home against the Pistons early in October, or obviously early in the season, late October. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Pistons, they have a better team this season. They didn't do much on the free agent market, but I believe they have good depth this year, and they definitely have pieces to play with as well. And it's going to be interesting too. But I don't know if I had to say it's going to be a very, very close game. But I'll say the Nets end up losing by 10 to 15 points as well. I know we have 2 days off before this game after the Celtic game. But honestly, it's just a tough game to say that the Nets are going to win. I mean, the Nets aren't going to win a lot of games this year. For any Nets fans that are listening to, and all NBA fans as well, the Nets aren't going to win many games this year. Hopefully, they win more than last year. Obviously, last year they won 20 games. Hopefully, they win 25 to 30 games, maybe even a little bit more than that, to hopefully reach the play-in. But look, the Eastern Conference is going to be very competitive this year. It's going to be more competitive than last year. The Western Conference is obviously going to be competitive too, but the East is just going to take another step up too. But yeah, no, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But after October, I'm going to say the Nets have a record of 1-4, 1-4 after the month of October. I just want to look here to see on the November schedule to see when our first NBA Cup game is. It might be either November or I think it's in November. Oh, it's against the Bucks. Okay, or sorry, the Magic.
November 25th. No, November 20th against the Magic. Yep.
Yes. Oh yes. Yeah, that's right, Nathan. Jason Kidd too. Yep. Jason Kidd. That was another one. A lot of Nets players that were in New Jersey that went to the Knicks, or also in Brooklyn that went to the Knicks and other teams too. And not only the Knicks, but also like the Bucks and the 76ers and all those teams as well. But obviously every player is different, so we have to take that into respect. But yeah, just looking on here before we close out our Nets segment, our first NBA Cup game will be on November 20th against the Orlando Magic at home. Last year, of course, the Nets, they only had one win when we had the NBA Cup games, and hopefully this year they win more games for the NBA Cup. Hopefully they at least get to the quarterfinals. That would be nice, even if they lose in the quarterfinals. They do have a pretty tough division to play in, obviously, with the Bucks, Magic, Raptors, the Pistons too. So it's going to be tough. The Hornets as well. It's going to be tough to see sort of how they progress through the NBA Cup games, but I don't think they're going to win in the NBA Cup, but I think they'll hopefully at least make it to the quarterfinals. That's being optimistic. Obviously, not being optimistic. I think they'll be maybe 2-2 in those Cup games, or 1-4, 1-3, maybe being realistic. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be obviously a tough way to navigate that, and obviously being the fact that the Nets have a couple of back-to-backs as well. Being the fact that they play those teams on back-to-backs too, it's going to be a tough situation to navigate for teams that have more talent against us. But I don't know. I mean, also shout out to the Knicks last year for winning the NBA Cup as well as winning the finals too. I think they're going to be raising a banner for the NBA Cup and NBA Finals championship. So they get a 2-1 special there at MSG on opening night against the Sixers. Can't wait for that matchup. It's going to be fun. To see how that plays out. I think the Knicks are going to win that game, honestly. I don't see the Sixers winning that game. I think the Knicks, with their their experience, of course, with having the banner raised, having their rings being distributed that night. I think they're just going to have all the momentum going into that game. And of course, what better way to open up the season than to face LeBron and beat LeBron?
Yeah, no, that'll be a great game. Like you said, I can't wait for opening night this year for the NBA.
Definitely. All right. So Austin, if you're in the background, you can pull us. Yep. Thank you, Austin, very much.
Thanks, Austin.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening to us about our Nets October schedule predictions. We appreciate that very much. And now, for about 10 to 15 minutes before we close it out, we're going to get into a little bit of baseball. So being the fact that Yankees and Mets are both playing tonight, of course, being a Friday night. Jason, the Mets have a series against the Houston Astros, of course, opening up tonight in Citi Field. Obviously, what are your thoughts about the Mets going into this series too? And do you think there's any chance for them to have some hope down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to tell now. I mean, they they had a chance to win the series against the Brewers, but they let that slip by. Very very tough series. They won Tuesday night's game, but they lost Wednesday and Thursday. So that was kind of deflating. But going into the Astros series, I do expect them to take 2 out of 3. Tonight it's Hunter Brown against Christian Scott. That should be a good pitching matchup. Two guys that throw great fastballs. They throw high velo, and they love to locate the zone. So I think that it should be a good pitching matchup tonight. And obviously right now the Mets are 16-74, and they're still trying to get out of last place. But I mean, the future is bright. I will say that the future is bright with the kids, like I've mentioned on the show in the past, and you can't take that for granted. Andy Green has done a good job with this team ever since he's took over, and that can't be understated as well. So I do expect them to take this series 2 out of 3 against the Astros. Hopefully they can do that. It should be interesting. I'm looking forward to see who the September call-up is going to be. Obviously September 1st is when the MLB rosters expand, so we'll see who the Mets call up on that day. Let's see if they call up Jefferson Rojas, Billy Amick, or maybe even Mitch Voigt. You never know. We'll see, but I am looking forward to see how they perform down the stretch. Hopefully they can win their next couple series going into the end of September, obviously when they end the season. And we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. But
are there any injury updates with Juan Soto or Bo Bichette too? Because he did get hurt in the other night's game. Are there any updates on either of those players?
Yes. Thank you for mentioning that. Actually, yep. So Bo Bichette, he should be fine. Andy Green said that he was available off the bench last night to pinch hit, but he never got the chance just because the Mets were down 8-2, and there's no point of him coming in the game. But he should be back in the lineup tonight, according to Andy Green. And also Juan Soto is targeting a September 1st return. So looking forward to seeing him back. And also can't wait for the Subway Series also, September 11th through the 13th this year. So can't wait for that.
Yeah, hopefully at that time, our guy, myself and Nathan both hope that Aaron Judge is back at that time, of course.
Yep.
Being the fact that we heard rumors about him coming back by the Colorado series or just after the Colorado series, just before the Mets series. So it should be fun to see Soto and Judge back for those games. Even though it might not mean a lot for the Mets, it should hopefully resemble some good times for the Yankees, of course, heading into the postseason. And we all know that the Yankees are definitely going to make the postseason. It's just whether or fact that if they're going to be a wild card team or if they're going to be a division winner, which is obviously yet to be outcome and yet to be determined with that. But it should be a lot of fun to see how the two teams go in different directions and all that. So everybody who doesn't know, for you guys who want more Mets news, Mets information, Mets prospect news, please all tune into Jason's new Mets show on World Sports Mania Entertainment. His Mets show is called The Mets Corner, and he does a great job discussing everything about the Mets on Thursday afternoons at 4 p.m. on World Sports Mania Entertainment, of course. And our other affiliate channel to that is NY Yankee Mania, of course. Obviously over 2,000 subscribers now, thanks to ourselves and Nathan and Jeff, Nick, and Joe and everybody who did a great job, who has been doing a great job and still continues to do a great job on that show as well with everything that's going to be going on too. But Jason, we do have an upcoming interview with the one and only Frank the Tank Fleming on Monday, August 31st.
Yep.
Just give us a little bit of an insight into that, and of course, Nathan and his sports team were gracious enough to book Frank the Tank Fleming for NY Yankee Mania show on Monday, August 31st. Oh, sorry, August 31st at 7 p.m. I can't contain my excitement. So, Jason, what are your thoughts on that, and give us an insight into some of the things that you're going to be asking Frank.
Yeah. So first of all, just thank you for mentioning my show, guys. If you want to tune in every Thursday, you're more than welcome to on World Sports Mania Entertainment. So far, I've been having a blast with that show. But yeah, no, Frank the Tank. I'm looking forward to interviewing him on Monday. Obviously, thanks to Nathan and his team. You know, it wouldn't be possible without them. So shout out to Nathan and his team for getting Frank on. I can't wait to ask Frank about his experience at Barstool Sports so far. He travels around the country, throws out first pitches at different stadiums. So that'll be interesting to ask him. And maybe we'll have a Mets rant session that night too. So maybe we'll do something like that.
Oh, that would be epic if you and Frank had a rant session about David Stearns or Juan Soto or any other Francisco Lindor too. We know he loves Francisco Lindor.
Oh yeah, it's his favorite player.
Yeah, so everybody, just like what Nathan said there, get your popcorn ready. It's going to be a show. Please, if you're not subscribed to NY Yankee Media, please subscribe to that channel as well. Definitely a lot of things to look forward to as well with that. And of course, tonight at 7:05 p.m., myself and the one and only Chef Nick Apostolakos will be doing the live play-by-play coverage tonight of the Boston Red Sox against the New York Yankees tonight at 7:05 p.m. So please, if you're still new to the New York sports area, if you're just becoming a fan of the Yankees or the Mets, please tune in to us on NY Yankee Mania as we have Yankees news, Mets news, and a lot of things, play-by-plays as well for the Yankees too. So you don't want to miss out on that. Myself and Chef Nick, we always bring the fun. We always bring the spice, and everything is nice, and pretty much everything that Ian Eagle made on that call when the Nets had that epic dunk against the Cavaliers on April of 2021. So of course you don't want to miss out on that. All those play-by-plays, all the fun that we have, plus everything has to be focused on always the play-by-play, which is the most important thing. But you're going to get a lot of entertainment and a lot of laughs from myself and Chef Nick on the play-by-plays. And of course tonight, don't miss out on that. Tonight at 7:05 p.m., myself and Chef Nick will be calling the Yankees and the Red Sox tonight at 7:05. But let's get into the Yankees a little bit for a couple of minutes. So of course, big series tonight against the Boston Red Sox, 4-game series tonight. Tomorrow they have a doubleheader. The first game is at 1:05, and game 2 will be at 7:15. And then Sunday's game is going to be at 1:35. So I believe we do have the pitching matchups for tonight and for Sunday. We don't have all the pitchers yet for Saturday, being the fact that the Yankees hopefully will have Max Fried back for Saturday night's game as well. So hopefully he's back for that night, Saturday night's game against the Red Sox. But on the day game, during the day game, they have the Red Sox have Jake Bennett as a starter. Yankees don't have any starter to be announced yet for that game, but hopefully they will soon. We know that Elmer Rodriguez Cruz, who had a great start against the Astros on Wednesday, hopefully he'll be making another start against either the Angels or the Padres on the West Coast as well. But before we go any further, we do have a update here from Nathan about Aaron Boone, Yankees manager Aaron Boone. Austin, if you want to bring this up, please bring this comment up. There we go. Thank you, Austin. Yankees manager Aaron Boone might be on slightly less steady ground, as an 8th year out of 9 failing to reach the World Series could at least spark some internal debate. Okay. I did see that news a little bit earlier, but I think it's very important for all fans to notice that Aaron Boone's time, obviously it will be very contingent on what Brian Cashman does. If he resigns, then most likely I think Aaron Boone is going to stay for the remainder of his contract, which is up after next season. But, just being the fact that we don't really know what's going to happen if the Yankees decide to move on from Aaron Boone, what are the Yankees going to do with that? Are they going to hire an experienced manager? Are they going to go with someone who's on the same realm as Aaron Boone, a guy that doesn't have much experience, but a guy that could be in line with what their philosophy is. We don't really know. I think we all, well, at least from myself and Nathan's standpoint, we know that this is time for Aaron Boone. This is the time for Aaron Boone to win the World Series. If he doesn't win the World Series this year, there could be a lot of questions about his upcoming session with the Yankees. Of course, if he's the manager next year or even into 2028, we could see about that. But at least myself and Nathan can definitely agree on that. Aaron Boone's time to win the World Series is right now. He has to win right now. It's been far too long since he's taken over as manager. It's been 8 years since he took over, and it's time for us to win the World Series. I mean, come on, Aaron, it's time for you to step up. It's time for you to make the right decisions. I don't care what the organizational philosophy is. I don't care what the overall perception around you is. You have to make the narrative stand up that you're making the right decisions and that you're making the important decisions too when it comes to the postseason, when it comes to structuring the lineups, when it comes to the bullpen. You're the one that has to take control of your team, hold people accountable. You're the one that has to uphold all the standards that it takes to be the manager of the Yankees. So please, Aaron Boone, if you want to continue your tenure, of course, you have to do all those things. And of course, the organization too has to hold Aaron Boone responsible for all those actions that he does impose on the team as well. But Nathan, thank you very much for that update. I did see that a little bit earlier too, so I just wanted to talk about that as well as you brought that up too. So thank you very much for that comment, and we appreciate that. But of course, like I was saying, big series against the Red Sox too tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday, 4-game series. Being the fact that the Yankees are 2 games ahead on Boston. If Boston wins the series, they're taking over second place, and they also take over the first wildcard spot as well in the American League wildcard standings. The Yankees do remain 4 games back of Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay plays home against the Padres, so it's going to be a very important series for the Padres and the Rays as well, so we'll see what happens with that. Pretty much there's a lot of talk about George Lombard Jr. being the fact that he made 4 errors in his last 4 games, actually 6 errors in his last 6 games. Lombard has, and we're seeing a lot of different narratives around there saying that, oh, Lombard, he was brought up too quickly. He's not a good prospect. He shouldn't be making these errors. But I think everybody just has to take a step back. Everybody has to relax. This kid he's a very good player. He has a lot of talent. Obviously, he was great out of the gate. He only made 1 error in 14 games when he first came up. So I think a lot of players or a lot of fans have to just be a little patient with Lombard. They have to realize that he has to take his time, pretty much adapt to playing shortstop, of course, and he's MLB ready. There's no doubt about that. If you just watch the guy, you know that he's MLB ready. He has the arm talent. He has the range. He pretty much has all the tools that it takes to be an MLB caliber shortstop, and I think fans just have to relax a little bit. Don't always push the narratives about players' performances right away. Of course, you have to wait it out in the long run. But Lombard, you could just tell that he's a great player, even though he is making some errors right now. You do have to just wait it out and be a little bit patient. Let it play out for a longer stretch of games. He hasn't even played an equivalent amount to 1 month of games yet. So just be patient with him. He's taking his time. He's adapting to the environment, and he has a lot of talent. So everybody, bless you.
Thank you.
So for all the Yankee fans out there that are talking about different narratives around Lombard, please stop with that. We just want to let him be himself, let him be the player that he is, and he'll bounce back. He has the talent. He's going to do great things in this league. Don't worry about his potential because he'll be just fine. Don't worry. He's not going to turn into Anthony Volpe or any one of those other players that people compare him to. It also doesn't help when people compare him to Derek Jeter either, because obviously Derek Jeter was just a different caliber player, and we don't want to compare him to that right there. Nathan says, bless you, Jason.
Oh, thank you, Nathan. I was going to say it doesn't take a data coordinator or a Jay Dunn to figure that one out.
Yeah, definitely. But from my standpoint, from my prediction for Yankees against the Red Sox, I will say that the Yankees do split with Boston here, being the fact that Boston has Bennett on the mound tomorrow, and then they have Ranger Suarez on the mound for Sunday's game. Tonight they have, they got Sandoval tonight. So they have Patrick Sandoval, who is 1-2 with a 4.54 ERA. He's also a left-handed pitcher. I think the Yankees will do pretty well against him tonight. If I had to say, they'll score two to three runs against Sandoval tonight. We'll see what type of lineup the Yankees put out there with the lefty on the mound. I think they'll go with more of a right-handed dominant lineup tonight, but we'll see about that. But otherwise, with Cam Schlittler on the mound tonight too, I think the Yankees take this game. I think the Red Sox will take tomorrow afternoon's game. Tomorrow night is going to be a toss-up. Not really sure how to predict that game, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Both matchups tomorrow, both pitching matchups. The game for tomorrow night is to be determined for both teams. So we're still not sure on tomorrow's pitchers for the night game. And then, of course, on Sunday is Ranger Suarez against Will Warren for the Yankees. I think the Yankees will split with Boston here. Ultimately, the Yankees will stay ahead in the second place spot by 2 games. And that's pretty much what I have on that too. But barring, let's see, any injury news updates on Aaron Judge? We pretty much last heard that he was still doing agility drills. He was hitting off the tee. He was doing some running in the outfield. He wasn't really feeling any pain. He wasn't feeling any pain in his chest, so that's a good sign. He's hoping to avoid a rehab assignment. So hopefully he can come back by the September 8th timeline. Some other people think that he might come back after the Mets series. Some people think that he'll come back before. But we'll see. Different people have different opinions. But we'll see about that. We did get some news about Fernando Cruz as well. Fernando Cruz is he does have a UCL tear. So he has a partial UCL tear. That's his injury right now, and he's seeking a second opinion. So he's going to seek a second opinion. Hopefully he doesn't have to get Tommy John surgery, but these injuries usually tend to Tommy John surgery one way or the other. So hopefully he can avoid it and pitch the rest of the season. But, if he has to go on the IL and have Tommy John, well, he's already on the IL, but if he has to have a surgery to be done to miss the remainder of the season, then so be it. We wish him all the best, definitely. He's also one of Nathan's inclusive clients, so we definitely wish him the best in his recovery as well. And we definitely hope that he gets better very soon and comes back to the Yankees, hopefully next year at some point if there is baseball. But otherwise, I think that's just about it for today. Jason, do you have any final thoughts on the Nets, on the Yankees, on the Mets, anything like that?
Not in any of those teams, but with Austin being a Phillies fan, I'd like to shout out the Phillies. Even though as a Mets fan, I shouldn't be doing that, but whatever, I'm going to do it anyway. Shout out to them. They won 9 straight games. I know they lost in Seattle. They lost 2 out of 3, but still, you guys are very hot right now. Hopefully for your sake, Austin and Mitch, you guys can make a good run going into the playoffs. You guys have a good team. That pitching staff with Luzardo, Wheeler, and Sanchez, you guys are on fire with that 3-headed monster there. Luis Ariz at the plate. Kyle Schwarber hitting his 40th home run. That was amazing to see. Even from just like a Mets fan standpoint, I know I shouldn't be saying that, but still, I still respect Kyle Schwarber and all he's doing for baseball, and Bryce Harper as well. Trey Turner, obviously, I know you guys are very hard on him. He's got to step up more. I see a lot of Phillies fans complaining about Trey Turner. He's got to step up. He's got to be the guy that you signed to be the guy, and the money all you guys paid for him. He's got to live up to that. So, no, just want to shout out the Phillies for all they're doing. I can't stand the Braves, so hopefully you guys leapfrog the Braves to win the NL East. But it's going to be tough though. I mean, the NL is wide open, the AL is wide open. You got a lot of strong teams in both divisions. But yeah, no, it's going to be tough. But just looking forward to the MLB postseason, the NFL season starting tonight. The Jets and Giants play their final preseason games. I'm actually working that game tonight at MetLife Stadium. So shout out to all of Nathan's clients with the Jets, the Giants, and whoever else is playing tonight. And in NFL preseason also. Can't wait for the Jets season to begin week 1. Aaron Glenn, this is going to be a prove it year for him. Make it or break it year. If they lose that game, he's already on the hot seat. So,
wow.
Aaron Glenn needs to, we got to win that week 1 game against the Titans. We got to beat Robert Saleh. So,
Yeah.
No, but yeah. And no, basketball's coming up as well. So, also college football. College football starts this weekend as well. Tomorrow, North Carolina against TCU in the Aer Lingus Ireland game. So shout out to Dublin, Ireland. Rutgers plays Thursday. They play UMass. So let's go RU. Let's get that first win on Thursday night. Yeah, no, guys, thank you very much for always tuning into the show. Always incredible with Austin, Mitch, working with you guys, Nathan as well. Thank you for joining Scripts. Shout out to you. Shout out to whoever else is listening. Hardcore Sports Network, like and subscribe. Everyone, please keep liking, subscribing here, and we're on to better things, and hopefully we can continue our pace as we are right now. So, Evan, as always, thank you for your insight on everything too.
Yep. Well, just final closing words here. You guys can catch myself, Jason, Nathan on NY Yankee Mania, as well as World Sports Entertainment as well, with all the updated news and information on all sports, all teams, all information on every single level of pretty much college athletes, whether it's college too and high school, and as well as just NIL things as well, because Nathan's also part of the NIL Dream Team company as well, and that's a great thing for them as well, who just added Jordan Poyer to their dream team as well, which is just awesome too. And guys, also be on the lookout for potentially more interviews on this show as well, as we gain hopefully more traction. And always remember to hit that like button as well. But pretty much until next time, guys, we'll see you next Friday. Next Friday's show is going to be at 4 p.m. next Friday, so stay tuned for that. But until then, everybody have a wonderful day. Yep.
With a special guest as well, thanks to Nathan and his team. So stay tuned.
Do you want to tell everybody who the guest is, or do you want to wait?
I think I'll wait. Yeah, I'll wait.
Okay. So everybody look out for Jason. He's going to announce the guest on Twitter as well, and also please follow Nathan as well on social media at NR Media with all of his updated news and information as well. So everybody take care. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you all next Friday.
Thank you, guys.